So I'm just going to give a little bit of thought about this whole situation in Syria. Now, given the fact that the whole world is a stage, we don't really know what to believe. If there were any casualties, if there weren't, if it was a false flag that caused this whole retaliation by the U.S. and the French to send however many missiles to whatever chemical weapons site, whatever the story is at this point. The official story, what it sounds like from what I've gathered, is that once again, like they were trying to frame last year, the narrative is that Assad used chemicals on his own people, gassed his own people, just like last year when they did that kind of just kind of a ceremonial type strike. Just dropped some bombs in the middle of a little field. Nothing really happened. There was really nothing that went on after that. Almost a year later, same thing happens. Only this time, what I'm hearing is a couple of weeks ago, Trump announced that we were pretty much finished with ISIS in the region, and that he was going to pull the remaining 2,000 troops out of Syria because, well, they didn't really need our help anymore. And then a week later, he turns around and gasses his own people. Now, knowing that it's going to cause retaliation from the West, U.S. and whatnot, and I mean, this obviously causes a domino effect because allies of Syria include Russia, which, as far as I can tell, the fake news media has been pushing the narrative that Russia's some sort of enemy of ours, that Trump's been colluding with the Russians, that they interfere with the elections and all that bull crap. Yeah. It's all political theater. But Assad uses gas on his own people. The U.S. feigns some sort of righteous indignation and retaliates, drops bombs over there, creating more tension. Now, if I understand correctly, there are now Navy vessels headed over to Syria. Should be arriving around the 22nd, conveniently, just in time to pop stuff off on the 23rd. Okay. Now, strategically, let's say militarily, from the whole aspect of Assad, I've watched some interviews that he's conducted with various journalists, and Assad already knows what it is. He knows that the West has been trying to create this conflict. He's already stated how Trump's a puppet. Yeah, he actually said that in one interview. Saw it earlier today. It was an interview from last year. I mean, there's the idea that this guy would gas his own people, when in actuality there were people in Syria. I mean, look, the people love that guy over there, according to what I've seen. There was a 88% turnout to vote, and I mean, it was a landslide victory for Assad. They love that guy. So the whole idea of him being some sort of ruthless dictator that would poison his own people, that's ridiculous. Now, the retaliation, the missile strikes and all that, that all comes without any sort of official reporting. Nobody's really done an investigation. It's just, oh my God, he gassed his own people and we need to strike. How dare he harm his own people? Now, the part that gets on my nerves about this whole situation is how these gangsters in suits, these criminals who have weaseled their way into these high places, these slimy, sleazy, underhanded, corporate-owned political whores, feign such righteousness about a president in another country mistreating his people. Oh, because we don't do that here in America. No, no, no. We have the moral high ground. We get to act like we're righteously indignated as far as this guy poisoning his own people. He gassed his own people? Oh my goodness, we have to strike. If they really, really cared about people being hurt, maybe we would fix the healthcare system if they cared that much about people dying. And this was just a dozen people or so, allegedly, who supposedly were poisoned in this chemical attack. What, somewhere around 60? Something like that? Please, the U.S., look, there are like 7 different wars going on right now, okay? There's a massive famine in Yemen, all right? The U.S., in these other places, with the drone strikes and all that, bombing these poor countries, yeah, we're probably killing at least 60 people a day. As far as the messed up situation with the water in Flint, Michigan, how much would it cost to fix that? Maybe 50 million? How much did those missiles cost that were dropped last week in Syria? Around 224 million? Oh, okay. So, like, they could have, like, enough to fix the water problem in Flint, like 4 times over, and still have some change left over. Yeah, because they really care about people. Oh, I'm sorry. Is Assad putting fluoride in the water in Syria? Is that what's going on? Is that something that's going on? Did we send inspectors over and they figured out that some way or another Bashar al-Assad commanded his representatives some way or another to put fluoride in his people's water? Is that something that's going on? Oh, I'm sorry. Did he pass some sort of legislation to make it okay for Monsanto to use GMO seed and, I don't know, not even have to mark the food products that have genetically modified organisms tied into them? Is that something that he did? Oh no, that's more U.S. stuff? How's Planned Parenthood looking over in Syria? We got that going on? We got hundreds of unborn babies being killed every day in Syria? Is that what's going on? No? Oh, that's just America, right? Yeah. Yep. But we're virtuous. We're righteous over here. How dare he poison his own people? Oh, I'm sorry. What about the chemtrail spraying? Is that going on in Syria? I don't know. I need to talk to somebody. What's happening? What's happening in Syria? Are they spraying all day, every day in Syria? Because they're spraying all day, every day here in the States. I put a post up on Facebook. Multiple people sent videos and pictures showing me how they're getting sprayed with chemtrails in their different states here in the U.S. Yeah. Yep. Let's go bomb them. That'll teach them. That'll teach them to mistreat their people. That'll teach them to use chemicals on their own people. We're not going to fix the problems we got going on here in the U.S., but yeah, he used gas. And then you see Trump on stage. He used chemicals. And in the wake of that atrocious attack, there were all these beautiful babies. Shut down Planned Parenthood. Shut that down. And then you'll have the moral high ground to say something about somebody hurting babies. Until then, shut up. Shut down the chemtrail program. Because people are being, kind of poisoned using chemicals here in the U.S. currently. Shut that down, then we'll take you seriously. How about break up these pedophile rings out here? If you're so worried about kids. Oh, I know. How about slow down the rollout of the 5G smart grid which is already showing adverse effects to people's health who are within close proximity of smart meters. How about shut that down if you really, really care about people being healthy, about people's health and well-being? How about that? Let's go there for a little bit. Just acting like they care. These people act like they care all of a sudden. They don't care about us. They don't care about freaking taking care of anybody. They don't care about anybody killing babies. They're passing policy to kill people all over the world. Killing people here in the States long term. You care about people's well-being? Really? Really? With all this homelessness? With there being starving children all over the world? You care about that? You care about a few people? You know what? Actually, I think it's about toppling the Assad regime. I think it's about destabilizing Syria, which Sean Spicer accidentally had a slip up last week. Yes, our objective is to destabilize Syria. Destabilize their military. He messed up. He slipped up and he said that crap. I just hadn't had a lot of time to make a whole lot of videos. There's a lot of stuff that I want to get to, not a whole lot of time. So I'll just turn the camera on and just snap off a little bit every now and then. But these people want to act like they actually care about. Come on, man. We're not fooled by this anymore. They're trying to continue this crap. Oh, I'm sorry. What's going on? Syria doesn't have a Rothschild-controlled bank. They don't have a central bank that the Rothschilds own. Is that the problem? Is that why we're in Syria? Wouldn't have anything to do with oil, would it? Nah, couldn't be. No, this is all about Assad. You know, poisoning his own people, using chemicals against his own people. That's really what we care about over here. No, it has nothing to do with oil. Doesn't have anything to do with him wanting to drop the petrodollar. No, that's not it. Nope, nothing about that. No, we're actually really upset. America has no moral high ground to be upset with anyone mistreating their people. These politicians are full of crap. It's all political theater. We're not buying it. It's all bull crap. The world's a stage. This place. All right, rant over. I'm out.